Have you ever fallen for someone you were only pretending to like? My freshman year of college, I made a bet that I was ashamed of for years. My boyfriend had dumped me 3 days before the semester started, and by week 2, he was everywhere, laughing outside my dorm, sitting across the dining hall with the girl he swore I didn't need to worry about. I wasn't sad anymore. I was mean, and I needed somewhere to put it. My roommate Priya found me glaring across the student center and said the thing that ruined and saved my life in the same breath. You want to get over him? Make him jealous. Then she pointed at a guy alone at the far table, buried behind a wall of engineering textbooks, writing so fast his pen barely lifted. That's Noah. Nobody gets him to look up. Half this floor has tried. She grinned. $20 says you can't get him to take you on one date. I should have laughed it off. Instead, I opened the notes app on my phone, typed Operation Noah, and wrote down the terms like a contract. 1 date, 30 days. I even logged attempt number 1 before I made it. That's the part I hate admitting. I didn't stumble into him. I planned him like a project. Day 1, I sat across from him in the library. Is this seat taken? He didn't look up. No. I waited. Nothing. Finally, I asked what he was working on, and without a word, he slid his notebook and inched toward me. Every page had the date written in the top right corner, small and exact, like he was keeping records of his own life. Robotic arm, he said, and went back to it. The whole conversation lasted maybe 20 seconds, and I logged it in my phone that night like a scientist. Attempt 1, total failure. For 2 weeks, I engineered run-ins, coffee line, the campus bus, the seat behind him in a lecture he didn't need to be charmed in. He was never rude and never interested. He didn't notice what I wore. He didn't rise to flirting. My tidy little contract sat in my phone going nowhere, and it was driving me insane, because for the first time, someone couldn't be moved, and I couldn't figure out the equation. Then one rainy Thursday, I found him under the science building awning. No books, no laptop, just staring at the parking lot getting soaked. I asked if he was okay. He shrugged. My dad's surgery is tomorrow. I've been telling everyone I'm fine all week. His voice cracked one word too late to hide it, and just like that, the game fell out of my hands. I sat down on the wet concrete next to him. No plan, no angle. We talked for 2 hours about his dad, my parents, the ex I'd stopped thinking about somewhere I hadn't noticed. After that, everything was real. He showed me the little machines he built for fun. I dragged him to concerts he'd have never gone to. He laughed more. I stopped performing. I forgot there had ever been a bet, which is exactly why it detonated the way it did. 6 weeks in, Priya walked up to us in the dining hall, elbowed me, and said it loud. So when do you collect on Operation Noah? The whole table went quiet. Noah set down his fork and looked at me, calm in a way that was worse than angry. What's Operation Noah? I could have lied. I didn't. I told him everything. The bet, the $20, the notes app, the fact that I approached him on purpose because I was hurt and cruel and wanted to win. When I finished, he was quiet for a long moment. Then he reached into his bag, pulled out that same beat-up notebook, and flipped to a page near the front. In the top corner, circled twice, was a date. September 14th, he said. The day you sat down and asked what I was working on. I stared at it. You wrote it down? I write everything down. A small, terrible smile. You weren't as smooth as you thought. I knew what you were doing by day 3. My stomach dropped. Then why did you keep letting me find you? He closed the notebook. Because around week 2, you stopped trying to win something and started actually showing up. I wanted to see how long it'd take you to notice you'd stopped keeping score. He'd been running his own quiet experiment the whole time, and I'd been the last one to figure out the variable had already changed. I asked the only thing left to ask. Can we start over? He thought about it, then held out his hand across the table like we'd never met. Hi, I'm Noah. I laughed through tears and shook it. Cora. That was 4 years ago. He still writes the date on everything, still loses his keys twice a week, and still says the smartest thing I ever did was the dumbest thing I ever did.